So basically now what we've done is that we've broken away from the first tower. We lifted it up off the tower section below. We have now slid the tray underneath the tower. We are now going to extract the tower section from underneath the crane. We are at a complete balance, and let's see what happens here in a few minutes. We should be rolling out a tower section quite soon. As you can see, we have separated from the other tower. We are completely balanced. You see the gap there. Okay, balance is everything now. You see that the bottom of the tower section is sitting on the tray down below. If you can see that right there, it's sitting on the tray. So basically we are working the hydraulic cylinder. Sorry about that glitch there. We are getting ready here now to push the tower section out. I got a little bit of a bump there. Okay, I think that should be pretty close. We have achieved a good balance point. And here we go now with the first section of the tower coming out from underneath. She's being cranked out. Okay. Therefore, now we have created pretty well a 20-foot gap from the bottom of that tower, as you can see right there, which has had been unbolted. The crane basically is teeter-totter. It is completely balanced at this point. And we're going to hope and pray that the wind stays basically at the speed it's at right now. It's at 14 miles an hour. So we are taking out that tower section, so we are committed. There's no turning back now. So as you can see, they completely pushed the tower section out from underneath the crane. Basically this works on a winch system because the towers are so heavy. Alright, so we're there. So basically what's going to happen here next is we're going to start coming down with the crane. I need you to understand that right now timing is everything. So as we jack down, it's a good feeling to know that we're balanced and everything is going well. These boys are definitely paying attention. Everything is going well. The wind is fluctuating. We have 17-mile-an-hour winds currently. We are hoping that it's not going to accelerate much more. So basically, to get us down to the other tower, we need to extract and retract, or extend and retract the cylinder 3 times in order to get down on top of the other tower section. So here we are coming down with the tower. As you can see, we're basically floating. Okay. So at this point we've stopped climbing because we are needing to retract the cylinder. As you can see, the climber out here is the only thing that's basically holding the crane. Okay. We're not getting any movement. We're holding steady. Once again, you can see that the tower section from underneath has been extracted. So soon, I have this balance block, as you can see, on the hooks. There it is. Okay, so that block there is about 8,000 pounds. Quite the similar block that squashed my foot. So that is basically the trolley there that I had to work back and forth in order to achieve a perfect balance point. So now we're getting ready to engage the fork into the tower. As you can see, balance is everything. The wind is kind of working in our favor. It's pushing us to the back. We will be climbing down that 20-foot gap. As you can see, that we've very carefully achieved our most accurate balance point for this section. However, once this is all bolted back together, I will be dropping that concrete block down on the ground. Okay, when we put this tower section that I have this top one that you see, soon you will see it make contact. As soon as I can see it, I'll let you know. So we'll just be patient a little while longer. And you're gonna probably feel a little movement right here as we switch from the dog to the climbing fork, or from the dog to the climbing fork, sorry. Should be pushing up on it shortly here. Oh, I feel it there. Getting pressure on there now. There we go. Now that dog's going to probably just pop out. There it goes. We have a slight little movement. Not too bad. And let's see that we're once again started our climb down. That dog that has to be pulled out. There we go. Got that little bit of movement going on. It's not too bad. We're switching over. Okay, so now we've engaged the climbing fork on the cylinder side. Now we're going to push up on that a little bit, pressure up, and we're going to retrieve the top dog, pull it out from the tower. the crane just shift a little bit, ever so gently. We'll go out for a quick look and see what's going on here. I have to stay close to the controls in case. Get back in my cab just in case the wind is picking up a little bit. Not too bad. But we are closing the gap. We are going down. And quite smoothly, I have to say. I'm pretty impressed. So for every section we have to take, like I said, 3 full strokes of the cylinder in order to achieve that 20-foot mark. So basically this climber here, this system here that we have on the outside is basically all that's holding the crane. And it is clipped into the top tower section here, right there. Okay, pinned in there. And yeah, so we are closing this gap, which is a good thing. As you can see, we're passing by here. Wind speed still approximately 14 miles an hour, which is not too bad, and it has exceeded 20, but I've been told now by the crane boss we can push it to 30 Ks, which makes me a little bit uncomfortable because I've only always climbed at about 20 K max. So let's just wait and see what happens here. I am going to close my door though. I'm getting a little chilly, so go. And yeah, it seems that we've lost a little bit of height here. The object of the game here is to get as close as I can to that tower there, because I'm going to need to come within inches of it in order to put the tower section down and flip it. But unfortunately for those people that are working in the building, this hoist is out of service for their own safety. As you can see here, we are closing the gap. It is taking some time, it is quite a distance, but we want to ensure that nothing gets jammed up. The climber itself is approximate weight is about 18,000 pounds. At this point it makes this crane very, very top heavy, so any aggressive winds of any kind would probably bring this procedure to a close. We're hoping that we can extract 6 towers, which is approximately 120 feet. So the procedure will be repeated, and as we go down, of course, you'll notice that if I can focus in a little bit better for you, there are 2 tiebacks down below, right there, and they will eventually get removed as we get closer, and therefore it will release the crane. And sometimes it could be rather abrupt. It can jar the crane quite a bit, which means it'll put it out of level again, but there aren't any concerns for the crane to be falling over or anything. It releases it, and that's it torque. That's it untorque itself, so to speak. Yeah, in climbing is not really for everybody. As you can see, we are definitely closing the gap. We are getting closer to the bottom. That's where we want to go. We want to hit that bottom tower with this connection. Where did we go here? I lost you there for a second. There, that connection there. Okay. At some point, when we get down there, it has to bolt back in there. Okay. And at that point, they'll slip in 4 bolts temporarily. They don't tighten them, they just put them hand tight. And once that's been achieved, then I will take this block, send it back down to the ground, and come back up and retrieve this tower section that's on the tray and use it for balance. Now, the balance point currently is at 11.1 meters. It's approximately 35 feet out, and but this tower section is going to be a little bit heavier, so the balance point perhaps will be a little bit closer. I would estimate it probably about 8 meters. All right, but it's about 16 and a half minutes into this first tower section, and as you heard that goof, that's what happens when we release from the dog that's holding the crane over to the hydraulic cylinder, or from the hydraulic cylinder over to the dog. There's quite a bit of pressure on there, and the crane has a slight little rock to it, but it's normal. If you are the type that gets scared easily, one of two things will happen. You will either say, fuck this, I'm going down, or you will shit your pants. Either way, if you're not accustomed to heights, if you're not comfortable with the climbing procedure, then I would be the first to say that you should not be up here. I have my trust and faith and my life in these boys' hands, and I have them in my hands for I do not want to touch any levers or power on the crane or do anything out of the ordinary to inhibit a danger to the crew. My ultimate goal here is to do everything safely, by the book, and it'll take the time it takes to get it down. Yeah, so if you'd like, we'll just continue focusing on what's going on here. Again, we have climber up one section there of crane tower, and ultimately we are going to hit that point right there, which we are approximately, I have to say, about 11 feet away. All right, and I'll get back to you. I'll let you know when we get close, and I'll come back and show you the rest. Okay, stand by for station identification.